Welcome back to the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. We are so grateful that you are here, and I can guarantee you that this podcast interview is going to bring new concepts, new ideas, new insights for you in regards to your courage, your commitment, your trust in the process of this life. And we just had a chat before we started here with my guest and I, and I was inspired what she had to say even before we got on here. So I'm really excited about this interview, and our theme is when no becomes a detour. And leading through invisible challenges with courage and clarity. So I just want to welcome everybody to this podcast. And as you know, this is the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. And this is where we get to talk truth. This is where we get to dive deep into what's meaningful in life and what matters in life. And for me, it's focusing somewhat on my aim high method, which is truth, alignment, and radiance, which is love to me. And also thinking above the line, which is having that choice point that we're open-minded and curious and looking at the truth and what's next and staying open with a sense of wonder to take that intentional action. And I feel that this guest today really emanates this, and I'm excited to have the conversation. So let me introduce you to her. I'd like to welcome Patti. Oh boy. How do you say your last name, Patti?
Bevilacqua.
Bevilacqua.
You got it. Perfect.
Okay, well, let's try this again. Welcome, Patti Bevilacqua.
Great.
Oh, I did it. She is a keynote speaker, an educator, a TEDx speaker, and the founder of Fear Less with MS. After being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, Patti's life took a series of unexpected turns that challenged not only her body, but her identity, her plans, and her vision of success for the future. And what she discovered is something really deeply powerful. And it's this, that no is rarely the end of the road. It's often a detour towards something more meaningful. I call those, Patti, my hard rights in life, where you lean in and you take that hard right. So for the audience who's here on this podcast right now, whether you're driving, whether you're doing dishes, whether you're on a walk, or whether you're working out, whatever position you're in, if you've ever faced that moment where life really did not go as planned, this conversation will remind you that there's still a path forward. And sometimes it's even way better than the one you've imagined. Oh my goodness. I'm inspired already. Okay, I know the audience is too, Patti. So let's just start with this. When life says no, like take us to that moment when you were diagnosed, in when life began to feel like a whole bunch of series of no's, and what was happening internally for you. That's what I'm curious about.
So, all my life, I wanted to be a high school physical education teacher. And I was diagnosed with MS before the end of my first year. And the first 3 years, I was still really good. But then my body started making decisions for me. No, you can't run anymore. No, your hands can't do that. No, you'll never be the teacher you were meant to be. And I didn't have any plan other than plan A. And I was a high achiever and a goal setter. And all of a sudden, I was lost. I was lost. I had never experienced anything like this. And I was new to the school, a new community. My family was 12 hours away, and it was me. It was just me. And the no's were coming hard and fast. And so when I left the gym, I took a job at a different school teaching social studies and trying to be passionate about the Magna Carta and the rise of Christianity just didn't cut it. And so I walked away from the job that I wanted to have until I retired. And that was the day the journey started. And when I look back at it now, it's been one awesome, awesome, awesome journey.
Love it.
Awesome journey.
Love
And
it.
um, no is not the end of the road. No's are detours to opportunities you never thought was possible. And I will take that to the bank.
Absolutely. Me too. How about everybody else listening to this podcast? So, what I love is how honest you are. I love how sincere you are. I love that as you tell that story, it feels like it was just yesterday for me. And, I think all of us face these moments in time in our life that things happen completely out of our control. And your body was making decisions that you did not want it to do. And so this is what I'm really curious about is I've been there too with a family member being ill and having to say no to everything that I loved and was my self-worth. That was my, oh my goodness, it was the most humbling journey ever. But I really want to know from you, it was so humbling for me. And I realized within myself that I had a lot of ego about what I was doing. I mean, I had such an attachment to my accomplishments and my self worth. And it shocked me actually. And that was humbling for me too. I mean, did you go through something similar in just allowing that to just dissolve? I mean, I had to because there was no other decision. And it was hard for me. I gotta tell you, I
You know
felt
what?
I grieved. I
It was
did. I
my
cried.
identity, the only identity I ever knew. And so if I wasn't a PE teacher, who am I?
Yeah.
And I was 22 years old and grieving. I was raised Italian Catholic. Kids not were seen and not to be heard. And we didn't talk about stuff. And my parents felt like they had done something wrong. And it had nothing to do with them. But what did I do wrong? Right? I had been the kid in school who gave apples to the teachers. I was such a goody goody two shoes. Like, why me? And once humbling and an awakening to realize I can't ask why me anymore.
Yes.
I need to ask, now what?
Yes. Oh, say that again. That needs to land for everybody in the audience because I felt the same. I thought, why me? Uh, my mom suffered from the same illness, and I grew up with that. Like, why me in my family? Why me? And there's a moment in time that you become decided to release that and let that go. And so you said, so what did you say? It's not why me, it's
Now what?
oh, mm, mm,
Now what?
mm,
Now
mm, mm.
and my gift to everybody is it doesn't matter the distance, just move forward. Just move forward. There are days where I moved a centimeter, and there are days that I moved 100 kilometers. I went back occasionally, absolutely. Was it easy? Never. But you know what? It's pretty exciting to move forward. And I love that feeling, right? And so I'm going to do what I can to help people get that mindset.
Yes.
Let's just move in the right direction. Once forward. And
And it's just so powerful to know that that's the truth, isn't it?
it is
And that it's always available to,
absolutely.
and that your greatest pain, struggle, trauma, you have been given the greatest gift to serve the world with.
So I used to say before MS, I was a good person and I liked who I was. Today, I'm an amazing person and I love who I am
Mhm.
because I live with MS. I love me. I love me.
Oh, this is called the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. Oh, so glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Because,
I love who I am because I
yeah,
have this.
you know, so this is one of my biggest calling too. You and I are so much like, it's hilarious. Is this that as women, our reason for being here is to realize that. And that's how we have the honor and the opportunity to show up and simply shine our loving light onto the world, because it is truly our responsibility, nobody else's, not a single soul, not at all, except to go within to win, is what I call it.
Mhm.
In one of my phrases that I call that pays. And it's a journey. It's like you said, it's an exploration. uh, is it easy? No. Is it simple? Yes, because it's a dedicated commitment to oneself. And to me, love is all there is, honestly. And now I know that. And I didn't know that before. I was a machine. I was a corporate, uh, organized, functioning, uh, you know, when I
Mhm.
look back at what I used to be compared to what I am now, it's light years away. And I have so much joy and gratitude for my life. And I know you do too. But I want to inspire the audience, wherever you are right now, wherever you are on that spectrum, just know that you have the opportunity to just take that one step forward. So, you've shared this incredible, vivid image of, being alone on this journey too, right? And to rebuild your strength of your body, as well as what was unfamiliar. Now, what this is what I'm really curious about, because I know what it taught for me, and maybe we'll ping pong on this, is that that season of transition, acceptance, and ownership. What did that teach you about resilience and identity for yourself?
It helped me to stop looking inward and start looking outside of me, outside of my experience, because having MS is not just about me. It's about a lot of people, my family, my students, my spouse, my dogs, the lady in the grocery store who sees me holding tomatoes and saying, you know what? I know why you're doing that. You have MS. It's like picking tomatoes with a pair of garden gloves on, isn't it? It's about that shared learning. It's about um, pulling up my socks, but not in a competitive way. It's living as my best self every day, learning to ask for help,
Mm.
and listening to your body. because I pushed, I pushed, I pushed. It was not good enough. I was better than this. Nobody would ever believe me. I was the comedian in high school. I was the nut at university. Nobody would ever believe that I had to go on antidepressants. Nobody would ever believe that I struggled.
Mm.
Well, I did. We all do.
We all do.
We all do. And it's just a matter of reframing it. It's a matter of not feeling any less than who you are in that moment of time in time, because there's no manual, there's no book about the life that we live. And I want people to see that you are showing up every day with what you have at that moment in time. And you're going to affect somebody else, whether it's small or big. We look to others for strength, and we look to others for ideas or answers.
Yes.
We're not different. Our situations are.
Mm.
What we learn and what we believe along the way. There's a lot of consistency. We all bleed red. It doesn't matter why. We're
Yeah.
all human.
Well, we are, and it's the humanness of life that I have the honor and the experience of living now that I didn't understand it before. Now I intimately understand the blessings of humanness and just being genuine and real and
Authentic, and
yes.
find your voice and use it. Advocate for yourself, advocate for others. Don't lose you. Don't lose you. You're still there. Always remember that. Don't lose you. No matter what you face, don't lose you.
And so I'll extend that. Choose you too. I mean, you know, my I have the Aim High Sanctuary, which is this extraordinary community of women business leaders that we come together. It's not about business forcing, pushing, making things happen. It's about coming together in a safe place to be heard, to be real, to be authentic. To this month's theme is the sacred stop, going from performance to presence. I mean, it's so beautiful to me. And for all those years that I was forcing, pushing, making things happen. And now I realize this extraordinary value that you just mentioned, which is just being real and to be around other women that you feel safe, that you can show up wherever you are, broken together, serving, because we're not meant to do this life alone or even think that we're doing it alone. And that's what you were mentioning there too. And I think it's just so important that we have around us people that love us. And for me, I think gratitude and appreciation for other people. That's in a restaurant. I was picturing you with those tomatoes and just saying thank you, you know, and just this energy of love that we're projecting is all of that we experience and we get to keep in that position of serving from our highest self and being present and caring. And it's exactly what you're saying. So I love it. Now, your story reminds us of when something that we built within our identity changes, shifts, and alters itself. We're invited to really go in deeper and ask the question who we truly are. And that's what you've done. That's what I've done. And so when do you know, what can people do when their life no longer fits the way that they're living? I mean, that's such a great question.
When you have lost your courage, when you have lost your hope, borrow it from somebody else. Find yours again. Borrow it. Borrow it.
Oh my goodness, that's so powerful.
And
I,
I'm
yes,
going to share one thing that
sure.
PE sports. So I have a TSN turning point, right? Something happened in my first year of teaching that actually I didn't realize it then, but I do now. It started the shift. There were two women and two men in the P department, and one of the guys played football at Simon Fraser, was the Ontario champion for wrestling. He played rugby. He was cocky and arrogant. I didn't really quite like him a lot. And I was in the teacher prep room one day and I was just staring out the window and I wasn't sobbing, but the tears were rolling. The door opened and he walks. Patti, do you know why you have multiple sclerosis? And I said, I don't, but you seem to know everything, so I'm sure you're going to tell me. He said, yeah, Patti, you were so great. You were so great in your past life that the universe had to give you a challenge this time around
Mm,
so you could help to raise other people up. I married that man.
wow. And in that moment, you were stopped in your tracks
It
and you
was.
knew that that was the truth.
It was. It really was.
Oh, how wonderful.
I was great once and I will be great again. And I will accompany everyone else on that journey.
Oh, I love it. You know, people, one person can make a difference in her life. I had one woman that I called my adopted mom. She didn't actually know she was. Her name was Emma, and she was in her 80s, and I was in my early 20s. And I would meet with her, and I'd feel transformed in the moment. She would say phrases like, "What is Carolyn?" And I think, what does that mean? I contemplated that for 50 years. And everything that happens in your life, Carolyn, is for you,
Mhm.
never against you.
No. And a lot
So,
of the stuff happens in the background that I am not privy to,
yes,
but I still trust and believe.
absolutely agree. So, oh, I love this question too. So, I love this question. So, what role do boundaries and self advocacy play in navigating these invisible challenges?
You have a voice. And I didn't know a lot of people back then. And I had to learn to meet my needs and to advocate for what I needed.
Mm,
And boundaries had to exist. So I didn't burn myself out. So I didn't put myself on the hamster wheel. I had to create the boundaries in my best interest. And for somebody who wanted to do everything for everybody else and never for my oneself, that was hard. That was hard to set the boundaries that cushioned me, especially in my most fragile moments, because I was a winner. I was confident. I was invincible. And yet I had to learn how to grieve the loss of who that was.
yes, yes.
And and without setting boundaries, pushing them every now and then and reframing them, I would have lost me, and I would have lost what I've learned and what I'm able to impart to others. Boundaries are not a sign of weakness. Boundaries are a sign of self-respect.
Say that again. Say it again.
Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are a sign of self-respect.
You're here. There's so many women that I meet on a consistent basis that have just not discovered this beautiful, important aspect of life. And I want to invite the audience to realize it is one of the most self-honoring decisions that you make within yourself. And I can honestly say, since learning this and incorporating it into my life, my vitality, my energy for life is expanded such massive amounts because I live clean. I live truthful and with respect, not only for myself, for other people. And it is so sacred to me, boundaries and clean boundaries. And it means that I get to make decisions for me. And I was also, like you, just giving myself away to absolutely everybody. And I don't think that is uncommon in most women's lives either, which is another reason I created the sanctuary, to be honest, is so we can learn from each other here, because it's just not about being that lone soldier on this life.
When COVID hit, I created a Facebook group for women with MS. And in Canada, out of every 4 people who are diagnosed with MS, 3 are women. So it's predominantly a women's disease in Canada.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it didn't take long before I started getting messages. My wife has MS. Would you allow husbands in your group? I'm a caregiver of somebody with MS. Can we be silent members? No, you can't. You have to be participating members.
Yes.
And so then I I just switched the whole thing, and it's I believe everybody carries an invisible backpack full of bricks. And people judge us based on what they see, but they don't know our story.
Mm-mm.
So instead of faulting them or swearing at them or doing whatever, start the conversation, right? Don't step back and lie low and, oh, that's just the way it has to be. No, 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 no. There's a lesson to be learned here. We are all teachers. We all have strengths and weaknesses. We all have um, ideas that we believe in. We we all have a story. We are storied people. My thesis advisor, when I did my PhD, she said, Patti, when you're talking to somebody and they look like they're not paying attention to you anymore, before you get annoyed, just know that you said something so important that they stopped listening to yours because they started thinking about their own.
Yes.
That's a gift.
Beautiful.
Share stories. That's what we learn.
And intentionally connect.
Intentionally.
Intentionally connect. And I do it everywhere. I mean, I do my 5K jaunt because I get to run, and I'm so blessed to run, Patti, honestly, every day. And I say good morning to all the 80, 90-year-old people that are on the path here. And I'm so honored. And they see me coming and they smile
You
because
smile.
they smile and they know I'm going to say, good morning, have a great day. And it started with one lady in her 80s, a short little Asian woman. She started doing it to me. And then I just took it to everybody. And it's so beautiful. And we can make a difference just by the intentional energy and how we show up as a love inspired leader. And this, well, personally, this world we live in, this is an opportunity for all of us to step up in this role and responsibility to contribute and be thoughtful and kind and generous with our loving spirit, truthfully.
And never be, and I had to learn this. Never, I had to learn not to be annoyed when somebody asked a question and instead of going, "Are you serious? You really asked me that?" And now it's like, you know what? Thanks for asking that question. And that's what I think about leaders
Yes.
is asking questions sooner than later.
Mm,
And I think everybody, because you're probably not the only one who's thinking about that question,
yes.
right? And so when the people that you work with or you teach or that you hang out with, when it becomes that very safe place, respectful place
Mm,
where you honor your voice and everybody else's voice, good things happen.
they do.
Good things happen.
They do. And productivity increases,
Absolutely.
results happen, and the whole entire energy and vibe, the whole organization, and that ripples out to clients, that ripples out into your success personally. So, my next question is, how can leaders create environments where people feel seen beyond just their performance? I mean, I'm sure there's a few other ideas you have there too.
Stop leading like everybody has the same capacity every single day.
Mm,
Never assume that on the outside they're showing up and they're getting the work done and everything is tickety boo. Don't just automatically assume that because they might be suffering deep down inside. And when somebody asks me, "Patti, really, how are you doing right now? Really, really, how are you doing?" Because having someone say to me, "Oh, you don't look sick," unless I stood up and walked, you would have no idea I have MS.
mm,
And when I see other people, I have stopped assuming that everybody has a great life
it's true.
because we can't see the invisible. So stop leading like everyone has this unlimited ability to do high performing work at the same pace and volume and height every single day. Because if you believe that, you're missing the boat. You have the opportunity to get even more out of the people you work with by being attentive, by
Mm.
asking good questions early, not after they burn out or fall down or give up.
And it's it's the way you ask the question too, Patti. It's the intentional energy around the request and in with genuine care, with
That's
truly wanting to know.
yeah.
And
And
there's
that's it, Carolyn. truly interested in wanting to know,
Yes.
not just, oh, I read in Time magazine that, good leaders do this. Or
People can feel the difference. I mean, let's be real right now. People can feel your intention. They can energetically. You don't even have to say anything. People always say to me, wow, Carolyn, like the energy that you hold for people, it's intentional.
absolutely.
And I love people. I do. And I know the value of what love is. I know that the what it's like when there's none there.
Mhm.
And I know what that feels like and what that suffering is. And I think that organizations are yearning to keep their staff and the loyalty. There needs to be a reason other than their paycheck. There needs to be something far more meaningful. How
Ab-
about it's how they feel when they come to work, that they're appreciated, that they're accepted in whatever form that they are functioning within their life as well, which is what you're saying, right?
and being realistic, you know,
Yes.
even even you know 6 or 7 years into my teaching career, um I was still lying. I wasn't lying to anybody other than me.
Yes.
And that was a wake up call, because when the body says no and you don't pay attention,
Speaks.
it yells, starts to yell.
Yeah. Speaks
And,
louder.
you, my mom would always say, the most important relationship you'll ever have in life is the one with yourself.
Agreed. Agreed. And it's our responsibility, it's our own accountability. And we have, this is why I created the sanctuary too, is we have patterns of functioning that don't serve us. Maybe it served us 10 years ago, 20 years ago, yet when you're 50, 60, latter part of 60, i I now honor myself more than I ever have in my entire life. And I realize the value, the purpose, and the meaning of that. And how am I going to live this position of serving the world and bringing goodness from my highest self unless I do that? Impossible. No. So, everything that you're talking about is so much the truth. So, what would be one small step that our listeners, our audience can take this week to honor their own journey without comparison or pressure?
When we drive through our communities, we often come across road construction or like go this way, don't go that way. Don't ever think that your life is over. Road construction is often temporary. That funk that you're in right now is temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sign the line until it wouldn't matter if you signed or not, because you're not going to be here. You know what? Honor yourself, celebrate small wins, move forward every single day.
Yes.
Love yourself. Love yourself. Smile from the inside out. Be your own hero. Be your own hero, because you can't be somebody else's hero until you are your own. There is no guidebook. I cannot promise what I went through. If you followed my steps, the same thing would happen to you. I can't. And I wouldn't want to. We all wear different shoes, right? So there's a whole whack of stuff in there. When you wake up tomorrow, morning and you open your eyes and you have an intention to have a great day, if by noon it doesn't look like it's going to be a great day, let it go, because there's always tomorrow, and tomorrow brings a new day with new possibilities. Rise, rise to greater heights, because you can. You can.
And it doesn't matter what you're facing either. It's also what I do in the morning when I wake up is I look at minimum 10 things that I'm grateful for. And,
Absolutely.
and I say to myself, I'm grateful. This is what I love in the morning, to smell the ocean air because I live close to the ocean. So I get to smell the ocean air. I love the ocean and just the whole entire experience of water and wildlife and the eagles. And so I kind of go there, but it's this whole sense of gratitude because when I've faced my hardest barriers, obstacles, impossible moments, I grasp onto that gratitude because I know this is not forever either. It's what you said. This is a short period of time. And I hold this space for grace that I call it, this vision of the future of this beautiful meaning and purpose. And I live it now. And I just want to give this audience hope. I do. And I want you to realize that every single thing that Patti is sharing is the truth, the real truth, and nothing but the truth. And this is the trajectory forward. Just one single step. It just takes one step. And the one thing that I have really focused on that you had to, which is asking for support. I just want the audience to realize that they can reach out to Patti, they can reach out to me too. And it's just taking that one step, even if you're uncomfortable or there's fear involved, make that call, take that step, allow that support to come in order for you to receive that next step. And every time I've done that in my life, even when it felt impossible, I talked to the right person or they led me to the next person and solutions happened and I can move forward. So I just want to plant that seed here too. So you've turned your detours into meaningful life purpose. So looking back, how did those unexpected detours lead you to work to the absolute core elements and blessings of the work that you're doing today?
Letting go, letting go of the dream and stop feeling like I failed.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look back on the things that I've done over the last 12 years, wow. Even if I would have retired as a teacher, I would have had the best life ever. I would have been happy to retire as a high school teacher. I would have missed out on a lot of things. I would have not met a lot of people. I wouldn't have planted all these seeds. It's different. It's seeing things differently, and and being grateful every day that I have an opportunity to make a difference in somebody else's life. No other amazing feeling than having someone say, "Oh my God, I'm not alone." No, you're not. Oh my God, I'm not any less of a person. No, you're not.
Mm.
Oh my God, it's okay to take a break and rest. Absolutely. Yeah. On,
And you
on,
don't even know if your life before would have been what it is now. Because right now it's got so much meaning, so much purpose, so much mission. It is your calling, it is your living legacy, Patti.
Absolutely. Exactly. Um, if I were to throw out a number and say, oh, Carolyn, I have 500 friends on Facebook, 429 of them are former students. That's my legacy. I made such a huge impact as a PE teacher and as a person that when they're driving through, they call, they take us for a beer. Nikki Timms called and said, I'm on my way to Montana and I'm exhausted. Can I crash on your couch? Absolutely. That's my legacy, right?
It's the relationships.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's funny because all my I've moved back to the city I grew up in, and all my high school friends, we still get together. And one friend, I went to kindergarten with her, so we've known each other for 62 years, a very long time. And they talk about their teachers. So a couple of the guys, when we get together, yeah, remember this teacher, remember that teacher? I just had coffee with them. I just had lunch with them. And we just went on this trip. And so the relationships that you make that are meaningful, that are intentional, last a lifetime. I just want to plant that seed too.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I just think that, the other thing is that we make a difference even though we don't know we do. And we impact people's lives in such a meaningful way. And we don't even realize that that's what we do.
No, and there are probably situations or people that we might never know,
Yes.
and that's okay too.
Yeah,
That's okay too.
absolutely. So,
You know,
Patti, yes,
now
go ahead.
people name their kids Landon and Weston and Michaela. I'm still waiting for somebody to name their child Patty. Like nobody names their child Patty anymore, and Cindy and Tracy and Linda and Shelley. Come
Yeah.
on, people, when you have a girl, name her Patty.
Well, I'm going to say that too. I don't know very many Carolyns
No,
either, but I think it could be maybe somewhat our generation.
I think so. Ah,
So, Patti, oh my goodness, I love how you have taken your life and embraced it, accepted it, and realized your gifts, your talents, and your expertise have just taken another direction. You've just taken another lane. And
and that word is critical. Accept. Took
yes,
a long time to get there,
yes. Oof.
but that's really a key moment.
It absolutely agree. And the other thing that you've done graciously and beautifully is you've forgiven. You have forgiven the past. You have forgiven yourself. You've forgiven any element of feeling like you're a victim of life, because you are not. And I always state that this is how it is for me, is forgiveness is freedom. And in that journey of acceptance, forgiveness is the path to go through. And it's emotional. Yes. Is it worth it? Every single time. No doubt about it. 100% for sure. And the gifts, the treasures, and the beautiful gems on the other side of that. I think you're living that, Patti.
I agree. We, I mean, we live in a beautiful world, and I still have value. I still have purpose. I still have passion. I still matter. I'm still important. And so are you, and so are all the lovely people who are listening. Is you, you be you, be you,
And choose you.
choose you. I
And
love
choose
that.
you. I say it all the time to people. Choose you.
Choose.
For a lot of my life, I didn't choose me. I wasn't even in the mix, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I
And,
hear.
and
Yeah.
so And it's not from a selfish place, it's from a selfless place, to be honest in honoring oneself. So, Patti, thank you. I just love it. And I appreciate your honesty, your courage, and your commitment to serve the world from your highest self. And I know that you have a gift for our audience too, correct?
Correct. Are they going to be in the show notes?
Yes, they will. Do you want me to tell them what it is, or do you know what it is?
Well, I have a link to a free newsletter. It's called Seeing Differently,
Mm,
and it's about seeing differently
yes.
and the power within seeing differently. Um, you are the author of your life. Take the pen, write the next chapter, and that's what I do in Seeing Differently.
Mm, yes, I will. Where's my pen? Here it is. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. So thank you to the audience. Oh my goodness, what a great conversation we had. And once again, I'll let you know that for those people that are new here, you have a gift from me as well called the 21-day above the line living. And that's to live a pathway of purpose, presence, and more inner peace. So it's a 3-minute recording that I have done in the morning in my pajamas, and then reflections and journal prompts. So you can write your truth down, just like Patti invites. So, Patti, thank you so much for coming on the podcast with me. It was an honor, a complete honor. And I want to leave the audience with one last question, which is what I do in every podcast. So, what if the no in your life isn't the end, but the beginning of something even more meaningful in your life? So thank you for joining us on the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. And Patti, thank you. And until next time, take good care, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of our podcast.